You are now tuning in to Lex and RDDC broadcast station, serving up on the double doses for us all.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. Thank you for joining us, being here, supportive, and everything else under the sun, because we love to give a slice of everyday life. We have something special in store for you all, and thank you for continuing to harass us about this, but we're happy to have this wonderful special guest on here. For any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun, you can reach us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's yandex.com, and as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, where you can find all the links in the About Me description and disclaimers and so much more. And as well as all of our platforms. I guess you guys know the protocol by now, but if you're new tuning in, you can always check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, Blueberry, as well as Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, and so much more with our SoundCloud and FM coming very soon, as well as the YouTube channel. So let's not do this right now, but I'm excited to get more excited because we have a wonderful guest expert on here, Mrs. Joyce Fields, and she is a thought leader for today's generation. And this is what you've been all asking for. And this is going to be a conversational topic about many things, but in particular, it's about the best way to keep a man is to let him go. Yes, the best way to keep a man is to let him go. So hashtag, we'll have the episode name up there like Tony and I always do, but right now we're going to have no further ado and have Miss Joyce Fields join us on this interview. So how are you doing, Mrs. Joyce Fields?
Well, Lex, my typical response for that question is, I am too blessed to be stressed.
Perfect. So how has life been treating you?
Absolutely wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
I am true. Life is treating me well.
Well, life is treating you well. Well, you know, and we just had a conversation before we got on to this studio recording, and it was bomb fire. Let's put it that way. It was, to me, it felt like the 4th of July. Not to mention, we got the little scoop on getting some wonderful recipes, just saying. But we'll also have all of Mrs. Joyce Fields' information and her blog and her website, how you can get a hold of everything on the Blogspot itself. So don't be slow to check that out, and make sure you do, because you won't be sorry. So we're going to how much salt and sugar can definitely be on some wonderful things, but want to have is what makes you a relationship expert.
I have been with my man for 62 years. I think that would qualify me.
Wow.
We have been together since we were 13 years old.
That
He's 76.
is amazing.
And I will be 76 on Tuesday.
Happy pre-birthday. Yes.
Thank you, Lex. And we have been married for 52 years.
Wow. That is a very, very long time. Very long time. Well, that definitely overqualifies you to be to be a relationship expert. Definitely in there for at the same time. But I mean, what would be your 3 tips for a healthy, happy marriage and a relationship, feeding off of that for 60 some odd years?
The 3, what'd you say?
The 3 tips for your for a healthy, happy marriage.
Well, first of all, the book is actually entitled "The Best Way to Keep a Man Is to Let Him Go," among other things.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a part of the title as well.
Okay, among other things.
So the 3 tips that I would give anybody it would be: never go to bed angry at each other, because you never know who is not going to wake up the next morning. So you would be, oh my God, if you woke up and your partner had passed away during the night, you can't take those words back, that anger back.
Oh,
So don't go to bed angry. Shove it to the side. Kiss him goodnight, kiss her goodnight, or whatever, and go to sleep. And the next morning, it should be better.
Absolutely.
So that's the one tip. Another tip is don't separate your money.
Oh.
When you separate your money, you separate your spirit.
Wow, I never even looked at that like that way. Okay, so the separation of money. So I hear a lot of people speak about, okay, no way is my girlfriend or my husband or my wife going to have access to my money. So that's kind of a little division right there when you have a marriage and everything's kind of separated.
Yes, it is. Now, we call it the general fund.
Oh.
And out of that, we get our allowances and pay the bill.
Wow.
So, yeah. Don't separate your money.
That's very powerful. I mean, that is very powerful. A lot of people always come, different ones, just different people in life will say, well, what would you do? Would you have your own money or would you separate? And I'm like, well, I didn't have an answer to give them, honestly, for that. I just figured if everything was going to be split, because some people do have shopping habits to where they could have, for example, $10,000 set up in their account. Their spouse does not know how to respect it, and therefore they withdraw $8,500 and they're sitting there with diddly squat. So I see. So what would be your take? What would be your advice or guidance for someone that has a spouse that is less frugal with touching the general account or the money in there? What should they do for that matter?
Well, my whole thing is communication.
Okay.
You got to sit down and talk about things that bother you. If one person is spending what you think is too much, then you got to talk about that.
Yeah.
But, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. But to say it like, well, you're spending too much money now, we can't be doing this. That's not the way to do it.
I agree with you on that one. I agree with you.
Yeah, you can't do it that way. You got to be kind and gentle throughout all interchanges.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That is very true. So what do you consider to be one of the biggest mistakes that couples do make?
Or have not made? Talking.
Yeah, definitely.
Not talking, not communicating, and clamming up and holding grudges, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Grudges are something that can definitely separate people.
Yeah.
That is something.
And resentment and all kinds of stuff. It's bad.
Yes. So what did get you started? I mean, how did you start your journey? I've noticed on your website you have beautiful collage of some wonderful books that we've definitely been checking out. And you all at RDC families should check that out as well. But what made you start get into writing itself? And when did that start for you?
Well, it's a very interesting story because when I was about in the 6th grade, that's a long time ago, I had to write a paper, and I don't remember what grade I got. I know I got a good grade. But I wrote the paper on if our relatives could come back and see all the modern conveniences. And now at that time, the modern conveniences consisted of the pop-up toaster, the wringer washer. There were no fax machines or copier machines at that time. So, and our ancestors would be amazed at how the modern conveniences of that day came to be, Yeah. So I wrote the paper, and I got a good grade on the paper. Then fast forward to about 1982, I was supervisor of word processing for Detroit Edison, and I wrote an article about the word processing experience, so they were sending us people who they had taught in school the word processing concepts and philosophies and all that stuff. Then when the kids got into the Detroit Edison Word Processing Center, we had to make them unlearn what they had learned in school.
Wow.
Because they didn't teach it right.
Oh, wow.
And so I wrote this article about it, and I titled it Word Processing, Teach Concept, Not Operation. I never will forget that. I taught, and I wrote it. I did not. They offered a contest. It was the Office magazine, and the Office magazine no longer exists.
Oh, wow.
But they paid me $100. I didn't win the contest, but they paid me $100, and they published the article verbatim, just as I wrote it.
Wow.
So that was like God's message to me, telling me that my writing was worthy of publication. That was the way that I took it.
Yep.
Then in 1996, I wrote 3 opinion editorials for the Detroit Free Press.
Oh, wow.
And they wrote them, they published them verbatim as well. 3 editorials, and they published. So that was another sign that I thought was from God, that my writing was publishable.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is
so
so
in 1997, I wrote Line of Serenity, the first book that I wrote.
Okay, yeah, that was a question I was going to ask you, so I'm glad you came, because I saw that one and it looked really juicy. I was like, I wanted to really get in there, because it looked so, I don't know, it just drew me in, just from the whole page itself.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, especially, just to have that understanding of how was it like in one of those kind of focused, ethnicity books, to where there's actually wholesomeness within it itself.
I know.
Yes.
And Barnes and Noble, one of the managers, like maybe about 25 or 30 years ago, she read Line of Serenity, and she told me that it was the only African American memoir that she had ever read that did not include drug, sex abuse, violence, none of that. Everything in our childhood was love, respect, honor, all of those things.
Absolutely.
Affection, everything. And I'm the oldest of 7.
Wow.
And, I'm the oldest of 7. And so the way that our parents raised us, when we all get together, my oldest brother died in 2013. He had stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And so when we all get together, we just have such a good time. There was never any sibling rivalry in our family, and all I remember is the calmness in our home and the love and affection that we had. And so when I wrote the book, because I didn't want that to disappear when we all died out, died off.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it for the children in our family, and I let a lot of other people read it, and they said, you should publish this.
Yeah.
And so I self-published.
That is amazing.
And
no, I was just saying that was amazing. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. So, but it's just really, it's a good book. It's 167 pages, which includes 22 pages of photographs, because I said down the line in the future, somebody may give birth to a child who looks exactly like his great-great-grandmother or great-great-aunt or whatever, So I put pictures in there, and also the same recipes, the 22 recipes are in that one, as in The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things. So the recipes are there, and the first 23 pages my husband wrote, because he adored my parents. We've been together since we were 13 years old. He adored my parents, and my brother, who passed away, was his best friend. And so he really and truly knows the depth of each one of us, especially me. And so he wrote the first 23 pages, and when I finished the manuscript, I didn't know what to call it.
Oh.
He said, all of y'all have that line of serenity running through you. And I was really intrigued by what he meant by line of serenity. I had never heard that term before. And so the first 23 pages, he goes through and describes what he sees as this line of serenity in each one of us.
Wow.
Then I go on to tell the story about how we were raised.
That's beautiful. See, I like that, coming together and having that, and then being able to have a relationship to where you actually have someone that understands you and your family enough to be able to have that whole insight about it. That's really deep, really deep, really deep. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and he just recently reread the book, and he just was just thrown off completely. It was just so warm to read it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks warm. That's what it draws you in the best ways possible. It's basically authenticated by the wholesomeness of what it draws you in for. A lot of books that have out there, I mean, it's gimmicky, it's catchy, it's nice, but that right there, you can almost read the pages through the cover itself, and that's what I love, absolutely love about having that. Just that whole understanding of what it is. So, basically, what was the method or the mentality behind The Best Way to Keep a Man to Let Him Go, among other things? Was it more so like different people coming to you and saying the relationships weren't turning out, or was it more of
No. What that was the motivation for that was that I saw so many young girls that didn't have a clue as to how to keep relationships healthy and happy and sexy and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote it. When I was 15, the introduction for The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go. You want me to read the introduction?
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Best way to keep a man is to let him go. My late mother-in-law told me that in 1959, when I was 15 years old. At that time, her son, Frederick, everybody calls him Pap, was my boyfriend. I let him go, and on March 31st, 2008, we celebrated 51 years of being together. Then on June 3rd, 2008, we celebrated our 41st wedding anniversary. While my mother-in-law put it into words, I watched my mother put it into action. She let my father go, and they were happily married for almost 35 years until his death in 1974. Let him go doesn't mean don't care. It means be secure enough within yourself that you don't freak out if he's not with you and you don't know exactly where he is. Let him go means don't try to control where he can go or what time he must leave or return. Let him go means don't try to control him, period. Let him go means don't try so hard to change him. After you have paid your dues, you may tread lightly in this area, but be careful. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. In addition to letting him go, I have observed the need for and used other philosophies and behaviors to help keep me and my man in a warm, loving, and peaceful relationship. My thinking was, he may go, but he'll always come home if I make coming home worth it. But what kinds of things can I do to make it worth coming home? Well, and then it goes into the book.
Oh my goodness. Wait, pause. That was I love that. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Oh, time out. That was so I was sitting there just salivating. I love that. You know what? That's exactly. Oh my gosh. You know what? RDDC, you have to listen to that. If you need a moment, I mean, FM, you won't be able to rewind it, but with the other episodes, you will. That is definitely a lot of, maybe about a good 1,500 questions we've had come in about that over the last couple months. I mean, that is the truth. And I will say from a page from my book, Joyce, thank you for reading that. That was an extra cherry on top. But I mean, I looked at that with one of, I call him my true love. And what I say from that is a man, and for almost 5 years now, he has been the best friend of my life. And I had to learn, even though he helped me through the worst time of my life and not phasing over into basically not even probably being on this earth at this moment, he was there without even knowing that he was trying to be there. And then I took that as possessiveness to where, hey, where you been? Where you been going? Hey. And then it got to the point where I'm like, well, the reason why he doesn't want me to be up on him is because he's doing something. But then I looked at that and I'm saying to myself, wow, he lets me go, as you said. He lets me go to where he's okay within himself to say, I trust you enough, or I'm giving you that trust to be able to have that kind of freedom to what you need. You know what I wouldn't do or what I would do, but then I wouldn't give him the same thing in return. And that's where every time our relationship went sour, and I thought, okay, but then I realized something when it hit me probably about a good 4 years ago now. And I was like, well, a woman loves her security and a man loves his freedom. And when when they're crossed together, where a man feels like he's going to lose his freedom from a woman needing her security, and a woman feels like she's going to lose her security from a man needing his freedom, that's where the communication doesn't add up. But I love the way you put that. Yes, I love that. Oh, Joyce, you are a miracle. Oh, Lord. Where have you been all of our lives?
Well, I'm going to read the chapter heading.
Okay.
So the first chapter is Modify the Way You Think. The second chapter is Observe and Learn Your Man.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Next chapter, Be Willing and Ready to Pay Your Dues. Next one, Fantasy versus Reality. Next one, Learn How to, quote, fight, unquote. Next one, Remember that you have faults too.
Yes.
That's a real good one.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
Yes.
Next one, Nothing is too precious for him. Next one, Think before you speak.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Next one, Always be a lady. Next one, If he has children, accept and treat them as your own.
Oh, yeah. Amen to that one. Absolutely. Yep.
Next one, Don't take, quote, man, unquote, advice from a woman who has no man. That's a big one.
I love that. Epic.
The next one, Look good 99% of the time. Next one, Don't use sex as a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Next one, Don't depend on your man to make you happy.
Yes. Very, very true. Very true. Very true.
Yes. Happiness comes from within you. Next one, Pray and laugh together.
Yeah.
And the last chapter is the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and then it leads into the recipes. So I didn't want to tell the girls that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and then leave them in the lurch.
That's
but
smart.
I gave them recipes.
That is very smart. And you know what? We can all take something from just having Joyce's whole headlines on each chapter. Because at this point right now, I already have 2 people that just went over here and gave me a thumbs up about them wanting to go over and buy the book. I mean, that's why I want to go get it so bad.
Let me tell you the recipes. I have apple pie, banana pudding. Now my family lines up literally when I make the banana pudding.
That sounds so good.
And Yeti's pound cake, the recipe has been in our family for over 50 years.
Wow.
Lemon cream pie.
Oh, man.
Pineapple or cherry cream cheese pie. That's my husband's and my son's favorite. I've been making that for 40 years.
Wow.
Spaghetti meat sauce. Lasagna, chili, macaroni and cheese. I've given my mac and cheese recipe to a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
And my son makes it from my recipe, but he's changed it. You put your own stuff in it, so. But I love his mac and cheese. Mashed potatoes.
Oh, wow.
Pepper steak, skillet chicken and rice. That's my favorite. I made it up.
Wow.
It's all it is chicken, rice, broth, and onions.
Oh.
And when I salivate, Lex, when I'm fixing it,
I'm getting so hungry for this. I want to just jump through right now.
Tuna salad.
Oh, I've been craving that.
Fried chicken.
Wow.
Beef stew. Top of the stove, chuck roast. I don't put my chuck roast in the oven. I put it on top of the stove.
Okay.
Meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken and dressing. Dry beans or peas with smoked turkey. Greens or cabbage with smoked turkey.
Wow.
And the last recipe is sautéed cabbage, which I absolutely love. Some people call it fried cabbage.
My goodness. Oh, I have to get my copy. I cannot handle this right now. No one understands. No, you know what? They do understand because they always say my main topic is I'm always comparing something to a wonderful recipe or I'm always
These
like
recipes are very easy. When I did them, my granddaughters who are now 37 and 35, 38 and 30. And she'll soon be 36. She just had a birthday in January. So,
oh, wow.
But when they were teenagers, they would come every other weekend and spend every other weekend with us. And naturally, I would cook, and so they asked me how I cook this, how I cook that, and all of that. So I just throw stuff in the pot, okay?
Yeah.
So when they asked me, I said, when I was doing these recipes, I really had to slow myself down and think. Now, about how much was that?
Yes, yeah. How many cups did you put in? Well, how much pinches of this? That's the way you grew up, though. You grew up to just throw it in the pot.
I think the recipes are good, but you need to just, I always tweak them for my own taste. Yeah.
That is very true. Oh, my goodness. The one thing that I wanted to conquer is a really, really good peach cobbler. That's one thing I've been trying to conquer. I don't know why, but I'm just terrified to try to make a peach cobbler.
Well, you know what? Now, I can't. The peach cobbler is not in the book, but I can tell you how to do it. But you buy canned peaches. That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. See, I would love that.
And cut them up, dice them.
Okay.
And I use, I just take them right out of the can and dice each one individually.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then, now I use those miniature roasting pans, the huge ones, and then there's small ones, too.
Okay, yeah.
I have the miniature one. I make my pie crust, put it in there, and then I use the Crisco pie crust recipe.
Oh, okay.
And, but then I tweak it. I put a pinch of baking soda in it. My mother-in-law and my mother both did that.
Okay.
They said that it made it more tender, the crust.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's more flaky. So I use that. Then when I'm baking the peach cobbler, I put it on the lower rack of the oven, but not too close to the fire.
Okay.
Not too close to the floor of the oven, but close enough that the crust will crisp up. Okay. Now I put maple sugar, sprinkle a little salt on it, and nutmeg and butter.
Oh, wow.
And then I close the crust up, and I melt some butter. I've already got the butter melted, and then I brush the melted butter on top of the crust. Sprinkle a little maple sugar all over the crust. Then put it in the oven.
I think I'm about to go be moving in with Joyce here. Her husband. He might not like that too much,
Try
but
that, though, Lex. Try it. It really is.
I'm envisioning everything.
Peaches.
Everything that she's pointing out and saying, I'm envisioning every step, and I'm trying not to just pass out in the studio booth. But, I mean, it definitely, I am going to try it. I promise you. I'm going to try that recipe, and I'm going to try what we talked about, the salmon croquettes, your style. That's definitely on my got-to-do list, like, to-do this week list. And, well, you know, this weekend list. Let's put it that way, this weekend list.
Yeah, but use the double crust recipe on a can of Crisco and just add a little baking soda and a little sugar to the dough.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to definitely get that going on there. Well, you know, your story and your message and your advice and your counsel, as my mother likes to say it, just the different kind of guidance that you have has helped. Just in this segment alone, it has blown my mind away to actually want to be more conscious of what I'm doing with relationships, and conscious of his feelings or those out there. I know the men who are listening might say, "Well, what about us, Lex?" I'm saying for male and female.
Men are buying this book too.
Yes, exactly.
Now, one of the men who bought it, he reviewed it, and he said, "Men and women, get this. If you get this book, you'll be grateful. You can thank me later." That's exactly what he said.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's one that should have been right up there. Or right in front, and I'm sorry to say this to Steve Harvey, but just right when they had his book. I mean, I did buy his book before I went to California. Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady, something like that in the title. But this right here, the book that you have, it definitely hits home in a whole different way because it's a structural guide, not to just get in the mind of a man, but to understand the heart and the spirit of a man, as well as being there. And basically, in the whole synonyms of things, do unto others you would have them do unto you.
Yes, and I have a book on that too, with the Golden Rule.
Yes. Well, you know what? Yeah. What kind of? I mean, what are the titles of your other books, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, Line of Serenity was the first one. Then Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids, is another one. And My Simple Quotes to Live By, The Vision, telling kids that they can make the world a better place. The Limitless Golden Rule, 21 ways to use the Golden Rule in your life. And, of course, Line of Serenity. And A Breast Cancer Journey to Greater Joy, taking the fear and mystery out of a breast cancer diagnosis. I'm an 8-year breast cancer survivor.
Ooh, congratulations.
And a 7-year stroke survivor.
Ooh, go Joyce. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yes,
Lex.
and another...
Yeah, I did not have chemo. I had surgery. It was a lumpectomy. They just removed the tumor.
Okay.
And it was stage 2, and I had radiation. And I think you're into numbers and signs and all of that.
Yeah.
And I finished my last session of radiation. You ready for this? 11:11:11 at 11 a.m.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yep. That was my last radiation session.
Wow. That's mind-numbing. Wow.
Yep.
Woo.
It blows my mind.
Whoa. 11111111.
Yes.
That's that's basically hitting the jackpot on a whole different spiritual plane.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I thought so too.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. Never would be. No. You know what? That is definitely what you call a thought leader for today's generation. That's what I would definitely would say on that. So what would be your advice as far as people going to share and give their story out there? What would be the first steps that they should take into kind of helping get their word out there and helping, basically utilizing themselves from what they were given to share, like you have done, and even all your blogs and the wonderful things that you've done already without you even being aware of it, that we talked about before we got on the show?
Yeah, if you have, everybody has something to say, and a message to put out there. And if nothing else, you can put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the rest of the social media platforms. I use Pinterest now and then. I'm not on it that much because I can't figure out how to get my stuff on the first page of Pinterest. So
yeah, they're algorithms.
Just you got something to say, so just go ahead and say it. Tell your story.
Yes. Even
everybody's telling their stories now.
Mm-hmm. That is true. And then, like we said before, I mean, for people who are out there who still keep asking the question, and it's okay if you guys ask the question, to say, well, Lex, how do we start? The first thing I've noticed is you have to be willing to start. And even if that is just having a blog to sit there and write a couple sentences at a time, or even if you want to write it down in pages or whatever else, there's someone out there who can use your story to enhance their lives and change the lives of someone else. There's someone out there waiting exactly for what you have to offer, whether it be you just telling them how to tie their shoe. There's someone out there that only hears the voice in your message that was given for you to give, and only you can give it the way that you do. So resonating with everyone, like I said before, some people like different things of the show, some people like certain episodes, some people like all the episodes, but at the end of the day, it's for those who are hearing the frequency of the message given to them at that very moment. And that's what it's all about. And we have our wonderful, awesome ending it off, but not for long, because Joyce is going to be coming back with us. Miss Joyce Fields is coming back with us.
Lex, I wanted to tell you something I forgot about.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the best way to keep a man is to let him go.
Uh-huh.
I make a statement based on my observations and experience. 80% of the success of a relationship rests on the shoulders of the female.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
Based on what I observed and what I experienced.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. You got a point there. You got a very huge point, monumental point there. And that gives me something to bring back to in my relationship right now, as we get to our other daily lives and so forth like that. It definitely brings me to, I feel like this was a crash course in a different way for me. And I feel kind of selfish. I feel selfish because I'm almost like, wait a minute, but I forgot that we're having this out to the masses. So it's good. I don't want people thinking, emailing me saying, oh, Lex, you're so selfish. No, at the end of the day, if you take it for stride and what it is. Now, a lot of you females and women and ladies want to be out there and say, well, he needs to and he's not. But at the end of the day, you have to take the beam out of your own eye, and some things you'll realize when you're doing 100% of what you have to do, you realize that it's time for you to just step back into your own. So when you're sitting there expecting 50% out of that person and 50% out of yourself, you're never going to get the full 100. But when you're doing everything that you need to do, that's all that matters. And then at the end of the day, you don't have to stay in that relationship. You have a choice to say, look, I've given it the best that I can. It's time for me to step back in myself and let him go. And he will find his way, and the right ones will find their way to you. But it doesn't have to be a whole shebang of craziness just to make sure.
Well said.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to force. You should never have to force love to be love. That's one thing I do agree with that. And you can definitely check out Mrs. Joyce Fields at www.goodshortbooks.com. You can check that out, as well as her blog, or I always said blogspot because that was just me, but blog at www.lineofserenity.wordpress.com, and check out all the wonderful insights that there are. And like you said, she has multiple books and so much more coming, and she's going to be returning as another, just one of our, I'll just call it an extension co-host. An extension co-host guest and so much more. Yeah, an extension, we'll get that in there, but our energy is too on point to be having that. And I noticed she mentioned Detroit a few times. I was born in Detroit, so I was kind of like, well, let me just tap the field right there. Just saying.
You were born in Detroit?
I was born in Detroit. Yep, Detroit, Michigan.
Get out of where?
I don't remember the name of the hospital right now, but I don't know if it was Henry Ford. I just remember. I know I was in Lansing, Michigan for. Okay, 8 Mile. My mind went left field out of that. But it's I don't know if it was Henry Ford. My mom's been telling me different things about our family and the whole line of it. But I know we are.
You were born in Detroit too. Your birthday is April 9th. So my mother, oh my goodness.
We were. I know I was in Lansing, Michigan, on Isabel Street for quite a while. But we went to Lansing from that. From Detroit, went to Lansing, Bikely, Muskogee, so much. I mean, it's just a whole different. I almost felt like a military brat almost, but didn't work out that way. But I definitely.
I love Detroit.
Yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to be. Regardless of what the world wants to say, Detroit is always going to be on top of what it is. Yes, and on top of that, we also have our famous Mary Wells that put Motown on the record.
I saw her at the casino when I was there in Detroit. Now I live in California now.
Oh, wow.
But I saw Mary Wells at the casino.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I looked at and she shook her head. Yes, I don't think she wanted me to holler out. That was Mary Wells.
Oh, my God. How long ago was that?
About 3 years. Yeah.
One of those people. One of those legends. One of those icons.
Oh, and I have another book that I didn't tell you about. Jet Black and Her 7 Friends.
Yes, I was looking at that.
It's a fairy tale. My sister and I were talking about Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Uh-huh.
And my sister said, we ought to come up with a book about a little black girl. So I came up with Jet Black and Her 7 Friends.
Oh, wow. That's yeah, I got a chance to see the title on that, and I was like, okay. So as you see, everyone, Joyce Fields has multiple different insights into everything you can get and expand your mind. Look at it as something that's recreating the story of all of us. And that's what we can always move forward to. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe we could talk about different kind of books and the different kind of concepts and understanding of what some of those are once we get back on here again.
Okay, that's very good.
I'm excited.
I just would appreciate the opportunity to tell people about the books.
Yes, yeah. You know what? And this is definitely where we say serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. So everyone, I want to say thank you. Is there any closing for now? Things you want to say at all, Joyce, before we end the show here?
Well, I am getting ready to launch an anti-bullying drive or push on Sunday, February 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be called the ABC Gang, the Anti-Bullying Children's Gang.
That is an epic title.
All this bullying, the kids are committing suicide, so I'm putting it out there, and I want to get children to subscribe to the YouTube channel that it's going to be on, and it's an anti-bullying pledge. It comes from the book, my book, Dear Bully, a collection of poems about bullying.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you have that on there. And Joyce and I were speaking before we got on the show and just touching base. And that's something that is going to be going for the Hearts Foundation and different ones too. And we're going to, as soon as when she's ready to get that rolling in more of extra directions as well, we're going to make sure we put the word out on a whole different level about that, because it is real. It is real, everyone. And at the same time, when I was going to school, even though I knew I had so much support around me in a different way, when you're in that classroom or with those people or certain situations, it could feel like your life is dependent upon that moment, and depression and all that other craziness that comes along with it is a very huge factor when you have a 7 and 8 year old child that know how to take their lives. That's the scariest thing I woke up to.
That is, girl, that just absolutely, they shouldn't even know the word.
That's what I'm like, how do you know how to do it? I mean, people still have to Google it at the age of 30, so how do they know at this point? So information, some of these kids are going on we saw from different news outlets, they're going online Googling how to kill myself, and they have the answers right there, which I think should be banned in some way to not tell people how to make that.
They need to know that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary situation. They need to know that.
Yes.
Don't kill yourself. Everything is gone. Hurting all the other people that care about you. Not that bully.
And off of one or two or a couple people that basically are just a little droplet within 7 billion people that are still walking here, that are very appreciative to have that in there. So if you guys want to join on that and get up on the whole mission of having this by the time this airs out to you, just make sure you get up on the ABC, and that's Against Bullying Children, right?
ABC Gang.
Okay, ABC Gang.
Anti-Bullying Children's Gang.
Anti-Bullying Children Gang. Don't forget that, everyone. And then if Joyce, when you get a chance to, just make sure you can just swing us over that link or whatever it is that we can come on and get everything going with that.
Do we have time for me to read one of the poems from it?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we love that. We're going to close out with an awesome poem. Go ahead. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Dear Bully, how did you feel when you heard that I had committed suicide? Did you laugh and shout with glee, or did you want to run and hide? I was afraid to be in your presence. I was afraid when I heard your voice. I wanted to go to school each day, but your actions gave me no choice. Now I am gone and out of your reach, but this is not what I wanted. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was tired of being taunted.
Oh, that was Phenomenal. Wow. That was phenomenal and the most realistic, deep-hearted. You know what? That book needs to be featured. I promise you this. The moment later on this spring or even fall, whatever the creator blesses and what that time is, when the platform reaches, whether it be to the Oprah book, the magazine, the stage, Ellen DeGeneres, whoever it might be, for whatever passions that is. New York Times, it doesn't matter. That book is one book that I want to have sitting with me while I do the interview and show them exactly what they need to see. Because when people see that, I know when they hear that, they're going to be looking at that, because it made me have a teardrop in my throat. And the only thing I've ever done from a person who's never bullied anyone and who has never been bullied on that kind of a level, or a little bit in between people trying to show their stuff later on in life, but it hits you, and people need to be more raw form, and that right there is a clean raw form to definitely open up the eyes of what's out there. And I know that book's going to be even more epic, because it's about to be hopefully everyone in the whole world can have that book in their hand the next year or two or less.
Well, the universe guided me. Lex, I wrote 25 poems in 6 hours.
Oh, the
universe, it poured out of me. These poems absolutely poured out of me.
Wow. Yeah.
They are written for children.
You have that empathic, deep, connective soul in order to be able to speak for those who don't have a voice to be spoken for. And that's, people think when they have the movement out there for 2 or 3 celebrities and 2 or 3 people, that's not enough for 7 billion hearts out there who are definitely trying to hear someone who resonates with them. That's not enough. And that's why wonderful people, amazing, extraordinary people like Joyce Fields is put on this earth. So we thank you so much, Anthony, Angela, myself, of course, RDDC, and I'll say RDDC Nation, because I already know I'm going to get some emails about this when it gets a chance to go on air.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and it's going to be airing out this coming Sunday in our calendars here. So I'll have Anthony put that up there. So when you guys are hearing this right now.
Coming Sunday?
This Sunday, you're going to be the first one.
I'm going to launch the anti-bullying.
Oh, even better. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, this is coming together. Ooh, giving me chills.
That is the best place I could think of. I was thinking, okay, well, today is this wonderful day, but let's put it out on the 2nd. So we're going to have that out February 2nd. And we always say before 5 p.m. Central Standard Time or before 7 p.m. Anthony likes to say, just in case it's studio. But we have to do, of course, our editing and so much more. But we got that out there. So this is always going to be a continual conversation, because you see how the energy is just flowing in the universe for all that is and all that's going to be. I
feel it too.
Yeah. So thank you, Joyce, for being on here with us. Again, I will have this on, and we will have this up on the blog spot so you can check out more of what Joyce has to say and her links to her website and so much more. And the anti-bullying. I'm sorry, I wanted you to finish the rest of it, but you weren't reading my mind.
Okay, it's the ABC gang.
The ABC.
Anti-bullying children's gang.
I was thinking that link in my head where I'm like, no, never mind. She can't see me at this point. Never mind. So, the anti-bullying children's gang. I have that issue. I don't know why.
That's right.
But
I'm inviting children to join this new gang.
Yes, and that's the best gang to be a part of in my book.
That's what I'm thinking.
So we love you all. Thank you for tuning in. And again, you can check us at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, where those links and everything else will be posted on there. Thank you for your support. And Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. You can check out insights and so much more. We do have the realdoubledosechannel.com that is up with all the apparel and so much more, and the Hearts Foundation leading up to all those behind the walls, invisible walls of their mind, and the physical walls that keep them back. But we'll have more for you soon. Don't forget to sign up for your free travel giveaways and your vacation giveaways, and all of you 80 some odd already wonderful families who have claimed your gift cards and so much more. So we thank you. We love you. You're amazing. And we'll be back with you very, very soon.